So here E1 bar, E2 bar are in the opposite direction, but E2 greater than E1. Therefore, resultant electric field strength at the point P2 we are writing minus E1 plus E2 equals to 0 because there is no field inside the charge conductor. But we have the equation 1 E1 plus E2 equals sigma by epsilon naught, right? So then 2E1 equals sigma by epsilon naught. Therefore, E1 equal to E2 that equals sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is equation 2. Now, what is the charge on the small area element? So then that is sigma into ds. The charge that is I am writing charge on a element ds is given by dq is equal to how much sigma into ds, right? So this element, this small charge dq, so which is placed in the electric field E2, we can assume that the charge on ds surface element dq, which is placed in the electric field of strength E2. Hence, the force experienced by this charge due to the field strength capital E2, force experienced by dq due to the field E2 is given by how we are writing F is equals to, that is F equal to QE formula. So applying that dq into field strength capital E2 that equal to dq sigma ds into E2, sigma ds into E2. But that equals to E2 equal, we have sigma by epsilon naught, sigma ds into sigma by epsilon naught, right? Therefore, F is equal to sigma square ds by epsilon naught, sigma square ds by epsilon naught, right? Say this is equation 3. But we have the field strength capital E equal, field strength E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught, equal to sigma by epsilon naught. So from that, sigma is equal epsilon naught E. So substituting that in the above expression, then F is equals to epsilon naught E whole square ds by epsilon naught, that equal epsilon naught square E square ds by epsilon naught. Okay. So what we are writing here, let me repeat. F is equal dq into E2, dq equal to sigma ds into E2, but E2 equal, we have sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Sorry. So let us correct this one. E2 equals sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So then F is equal sigma square ds by 2 epsilon naught. But we have the field strength very near to the charge conductor equal sigma by epsilon naught. Then sigma equal epsilon naught E. That is substituted in the equation 3. F is equal epsilon naught E whole square ds by epsilon naught. Then this is epsilon naught square E square ds by 2 epsilon naught. Right? Then the force per unit area. The force per unit area F by ds is equal to of one epsilon naught cancel here, of epsilon naught E square. Okay, of epsilon naught capital E square. So this is called the mechanical force, acting on the charged conductor. We can write it as F by ds as the pressure, P is equal to of epsilon naught E square, of epsilon naught E square, where epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, capital E electric field strength, So the pressure, outward pressure or the mechanical force per unit area is given by 1 by 2 epsilon naught capital E square. The next subcontent of the present lecture is electrostatic field energy or energy density. Electrostatic static field energy, field energy density. Let us see this. Right. So according to our previous discussion of the previous lectures, we know that when a charged particle of mass m and a charge q, which is placed in the uniform electric field of strength capital E, if that particle is released from rest, it starts to moving. Okay, it starts to moving due to the force applied by the electric field on it. As a result, the particle gains some kinetic energy. Here, the electric field is doing work to increase the kinetic energy of that particle. In other words, we can say that electric field has some energy which enables it to do that work. So whenever electric field exists, field energy also must exist. So we can find energy density of the electric field. So for that, you consider this diagram. This is a charged conductor, right? Charged conductor. Hence, the charge resides on its surface. You know that the charge distributes on the surface of the conductor, right? So with our previous discussion, what we have, the electric field strength very near to the charge conductor E equal to sigma by epsilon naught, equation 1, right? And also it is experiencing the force, how much P is equal to experience with the force, mechanical pressure or outward electric pressure. What is that? Outward, outward, outward electric pressure, outward electric pressure or mechanical force per unit area. P is equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught, that is equal of epsilon naught capital E square. So that is we proved in the previous derivation. What I am saying, the mechanical force, acting on the charged conductor at any point, or the outward electric pressure at any point is given by P equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught, that equal of epsilon naught E square. Right. Now, due to this pressure, outward pressure, if this conductor surface is flexible, then that can expand like this. That can expand like this. So this the volume, the increase in volume, say d capital V, dV. Right. So here, so what happened when we treat the surface of the charged body is flexible? So due to the outward force, it expands as shown in this figure, right? So inside the body, there will be no electric field. Earlier, before expansion, there was field in the region with volume dV, which corresponds to increase in volume of the charged body, right? So now we can write dW is equal to what? In this expansion process, the work done dW equal to P into dV, right? Therefore, now we can write the field energy, stored in the volume dV, is given by from thermodynamics, du is equals to du equal to dW, that equal P into dV, right? So from this you can write du by dV is equal to P. Du by dV equal to P. So this is called energy density in electric field. Energy density in electric field, right? So now we can write, we can show this with the small letter u. U is equal to, that is P equal sigma square by 2 epsilon naught, that equal of epsilon naught T square, because we have the P is equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. So we derived in the previous concept. Therefore, the energy density is nothing but energy per unit volume in the electric field. Energy per unit volume in the electric field small u equal to, that is P equal to sigma square by 2 epsilon naught equal of epsilon naught E square. If the electric field is uniform in the region, the total field energy stored in a given volume V is given by U is equals to of epsilon naught E square into capital V. This is the total energy stored in the given volume V in the electric field. Energy density is nothing but energy per unit volume. Small u stands for energy per unit volume. Capital U is the total stored energy in the volume capital V. Okay. So this equation explains about energy density in the electrostatic field, right? Yes. The points we discussed in the present lecture are, the first, we start our discussion with electric potential concept. So what is that? The work done in bringing the unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field is called electric potential at that point. And also it can be defined as, this is the change in potential energy per unit charge. You can say that the potential difference delta V is equal to the delta U by test charge Q naught, because when the test charge Q naught is moving from one point to another point in the electric field, then the change in potential energy per unit volume gives the potential difference between those 2 points. Hence we write delta V equal delta U by Q naught. So electrostatic potential energy we defined as, this is the work done in bringing the charged particles in the bringing the charged particles from infinity to the given space region is called as the potential energy of the system of those charges. Here we discussed two things. So here we have seen the two cases: electrostatic potential energy of system of two charges when two charges q1 q2 are at the distance small r, then the potential energy of the system of those two charges u of r is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r. Okay, so after that we extended our discussion for the system of many charged particles. Suppose q1, q2, q3, q4 and so on, which are existing in the space or region, then the electrostatic potential energy or the interaction potential energy of that system capital U is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12 plus q2 q3 by r23 plus q3 q4 by r34 and so on, right? So that gives the total potential energy of the system of many particles. So after that we talk about the important points of the potential energy. Potential energy of the system of charges may be positive, negative or zero. Okay, so when for the case of like charges, when the q1 q2 are the like charges, then potential energy of the system taken as positive. If the charges are unlike charges, potential energy of the system taken as negative, because there for attractive force, there exists attractive force. Against the attractive force, the work done by the external agent is taken as negative. When q1 q2 are like charges or similar charges, the work done against the repulsive force is taken as positive. Hence electrostatic potential energy of the like charges is taken as positive. Electrostatic potential energy of the system of two charges when they are unlike charges is taken as negative. After that electric field at a point just near to a charge conductor, we derive the expression E equal to sigma by epsilon naught. After that, the mechanical force acting on the surface of charge conductor, that is F by ds, is equal to half epsilon naught capital E square or sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. This is called outward pressure acting on the charged conductor. So after this discussion, the next concept we covered is energy density in electric field. Energy density in an electric field, that is nothing but the energy stored per unit volume in the electric field, right? So that is denoted with the letter small u. U equal to, that is outward pressure P, that equals sigma square by 2 epsilon naught, that equal 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square. Here sigma is the surface charge density, epsilon naught permittivity of free space, capital E electric field strength. Okay, thank you.